Hi there. In the last lecture we talked about integers, variables, and applying operations on integers and their variables. It was quite simple, and in this lecture we'll be talking about strings. First of all, what are strings? Well, in our Hello World application we had used a string. Strings are basically any information in quotation marks. Well, let's get started. Open up your Ideally, as I already have, and just type with me here, string is equal to, and then in quotation marks, anything you want. It could be fish, cheesecakes, numbers, parentheses, anything. I'm just going to name mine zebra. Now if I try printing string, there we go. Zebra has been printed. Now one key thing you need to note here is while creating strings, my string, let's create a string, is equal to, you cannot start with a single quote and then end with a double quote, or start with a single quote or double quote and end with a single quote. Let me try explaining. In our zebra example, we started with a double quote. It was double quote, zebra, and ending with a double quote. What you could have also done is start with a single quote, zebra, and ended with a single quote. But if you try doing single quote, zebra, and ending with a double quote, Python will give you an error. Syntax error EOL while scanning string literal. Basically, Python is saying that the second quotation mark that you added is not adding up. It wants a single quotation mark like you put in the beginning. So we have to say my string is equal to single quotation mark, zebra, and end with a single quotation mark. There we go. Now, another thing you can do with strings is multiply strings. Let's say I want you to print fish 50 times. How would we do that? We'd say my string is equal to fish, and then we'd say print my string into 50. Not my string in quotation marks, but my string as the variable into 50. There we go. Fish 50 times. It's a lot of fish. So basically what we can do with this is you can print strings multiple times. Now you might also run into another problem. Let's create this string. String is equal to, he said it is really hot. Now if we click enter, it says syntax error, invalid syntax. You must be wondering, why is it saying that? We did it right. Starting double quotation, he said our sentence, and then we ended with a double quotation. Well, what Python saw is this. Starting with the quotation, he said, comma, quotation, it took this as the string. Then it saw this, it is really hot. It had no clue what to do with this. And then it saw these two and paired them up together. Whenever Python sees a double quotation mark or a normal quotation mark, it will not use it in its normal sense. It will take it as a string. So to get rid of that, there are two things we can do. We can say string is equal to, he said, and then wherever we want a quotation mark to be an actual quotation mark that we use in sentences, we use the backslash and then the quotation mark. It is really hot. Backslash quotation mark. What this does is it makes the quotation marks as a sentence format. So these will not be considered as strings. This is called Ascii characters, and they're quite commonly used in Python. So if we print string this time, there we go. He said it is really hot. Another way we can get through this error is by saying string is equal to triple quotation marks, he said it is really hot, and then triple quotation marks. If we print string, there we go. Triple quotation marks and escape characters both solve your problem. They both do the same thing, but I guess if you have a lot of quotation marks in your message, triple quotation marks are the best. It'll save you a lot of time. Now, there's also a concept of pointers in strings. Let's say I had a variable, it was an integer called num, and num was equal to 20. Now I wanted to say I am 20 years old, but that 20 should be coming from the num. How do we do that? Well, let's create a string called my age is equal to, and then in parentheses, in quotation marks, I am %s years old. Now this %s is a pointer. When we'll run it or when we print it, we want to say print my age %num. There we go. Now let me explain what just happened. We created a num was equal to 20. In the next line we created a string. My age is equal to I am %s years old. %s is a pointer. Let's say I wanted to put any variable inside the string. In that place I'd use %s. So while printing, I'd say my age %num. %num is the indicator that the num value should be where the %s is. Thus it printed I am 20 years old. Now %s does not have to be just for num. It can be for any integer. Let's say I had integer of 500. My age, or print my age %integer. I am 500 years old. This is just a placeholder in which any value can come in. So let's recap what we've learned. We learned in the beginning how to create strings, anything in a quotation mark. We discussed about using single quotation and double quotations in string. We learned about multiplying strings and realizing you can create many duplicates of the string. We also learned about escape characters and avoiding the quotation and single quotation errors in Python. And then last but not least, we learned about placeholders and using variables in strings. Awesome. In the next lecture, we'll learn about lists in Python or arrays known in other languages, and we'll learn the functions used in arrays. See you in the next lecture.